with that, we're off
Banger.
for technically episode 2, but the first more
What was the
weekly
secret
episode. All right, so here we are the night before the NFL actually starts. We've already drafted, as many of you may know, hopefully.
Hit it.
And tomorrow, less than 24 hours, we'll have our first points on the board, and we'll be off. So just wanted to sit down. Sit down with my co-commissioner Austin, and just kind of talk about the draft a little bit, and then if we have any thoughts going into tomorrow. So welcome everybody who might be here, which is nobody, or is listening later, which might be more than a dozen.
Nice. Hey guys.
Great intro.
Hey guys, it's your boy Austin here. Be sure to like and subscribe. Smash that subscribe button. You're the guys that make it all happen. So be sure to share and subscribe and smash and like.
And you know what? Hey, if you like this content, consider subscribing to our Patreon.
Patreon/True Tone.
Yeah. Our boys at True Tone keeping it real.
Yeah.
All right. Since we last talked, we've obviously had our 9th live in-person draft. I think it went awesome. But how have you been this last week leading up to the NFL?
Pretty good. I have had a lot of messages from Will. I mentioned to him the idea of best ball, and he just wrote like a fucking 16-page document and sent it to my Discord inbox on his best ball strategy. So Will, and if you don't know, has gone back to school to become like a computer engineer or a coder or something, and he's going to be writing his own programs to do his own fantasy football projections, not only weekly, but then next year's draft. He's fully bought in. He's fully just gone down the rabbit hole in a level that none of us have seen before.
That's great, but I think the problem with Will's season was Will's own, strategies and thoughts on fantasy football. So doesn't coding it into your own reference guide actually lock in your biases that caused you to get like relegated down?
Yes, but all of us kind of draft with our own biases. This is the first time he's making it official, and he's done more research than ever before. So if any of these things hit, any single pick hits, he can at least build off of that, maybe get hired by the Athletic.
Sure, that makes sense.
But the week itself has been pretty fine. I'm just like, I feel like the last 3 days have crawled, waiting for Thursday / waiting for today, which is my anniversary. Mary and I have been married for 4 years now. Thank you. We went to got burgers and cocktails at Parlor, my favorite spot. If you remember me from the draft, I was wearing a Parlor shirt. I know Hank's had trouble reading cursive, which is a testament to West Des Moines education. But
and this is not Parlor, the social media platform.
No.
Okay, just checking.
No, I should get on that though. I got some takes to get off. So went there, got some burgers. Their like old fashioned is famous around the city, and then we went to a place called Kado no Mise, which has like the best Vesper in the universe.
That's a nice drink.
Yeah, and then we got back and we're hanging out for a bit before the pod, and Merritt was like, "I have a headache. I'm hungover already. I need to go to bed." So she's been in bed for like an hour now. So
nice.
Yeah, things worked out pretty well for pod night.
Perfect pod night.
Yeah. Sound like your night's kind of rough.
Yeah, so I've been doing this whole trying to get up at 5 thing, get some, be more productive, be better in the morning. And
be productive in what? Work? Life?
No, just like my life, like reading books, like working out, that kind of thing. And in return, my children are torturing me every single night by refusing to go to sleep. So I'm a little rough for the wear. But yeah, they do like to just be awake for hours at a time. And
if anybody in the chat has toddler tips on how to get them to sleep, let Jameson know.
I'm sure it's just going to be like melatonin or whatever that stuff is that people give them.
Drugged induced.
So that's been fun. I think there was something else that I thought like would be actually relevant for what I've been up to, but I can't actually think very well right now, so it's gone.
Did you go to a birthday party last week?
Yeah, there was. Yeah, just we're back in the season, so we had two
You're
on
good.
Saturday. Yeah,
It's podcast season, which means you're at birthday parties every night.
yeah. Podcast season is birthday party season,
Mm-hmm.
so we're definitely in there. Yeah. So, but besides that, things have been smooth. We've been just waiting for kickoff so we can get this thing rolling. So, yeah. So I guess the only thing we can talk about to kick this off is the draft. So I wanted to say just like as an overall high level view of the draft, I thought it went really well. Hanks and I have been slowly perfecting our old man draft strategy, and I think we've almost like got it locked down. Like we had some good mornings, like getting up early, going on walks, getting coffee, going to bed at like a not too late hour, not feeling terrible. Like it was just we really locked it down.
You're so proud of this
I
not
really
getting drunk
am.
plan.
It's fantastic, and that's not even the plan. The plan is not feeling bad
Right.
because we've had previous drafts where I didn't really get drunk either, but I still felt bad. So getting over that's the key. But I
Well,
think
maybe it
we
was
had
good that the food got taken away because I'm sure more like 4 p.m.
Mhm.
wings wouldn't have made you feel very good.
Yeah, that
They
would
were
have
looking
been.
out for us.
Yeah, the slightly warm wings would have just made my tum tum feel bad, and I have a sensitive tum tum to begin with, so they were looking out, so that was good. But yeah, I guess just to go like a quick overview, we had I should have pulled up the number, but I think we had 40 even that came like when all the dust had settled. We had 40 people show up out of I guess what are we got 84 total, but that's the largest number that we've had in any draft, no matter like since any of the expansions. Percentage wise, it's still Kansas City because we had like 85%, but we were a lot smaller at that
Mhm.
point. I think we had like 40 total members, and then this time we have 40 people that came to the draft. So that was great. We had a lot of people who hadn't either been to one, like Voss and Kunze were there, which was great. And Tom like made an appearance for the he came on Friday as well as the draft. So yeah, so we had a lot of people that
Yeah,
I
shout
hadn't
out
seen.
Kunze for showing up the day
Yeah,
after
yeah,
or
after the
the night
draft.
of or something. Like,
No, he literally showed up after the draft. So
yeah, but he still made it.
yeah,
And
no,
I heard he went through
absolutely.
some shit, so
Yeah, he had
good to see him.
quite the trials and tribulations to get there. But yeah, it was awesome. So he showed up. Yeah, it was like I just think it was a complete success. Plan worked pretty well. We had that hotel was great. Um, that it was a super nice hotel, like a great place to land. Had a very good bar restaurant that we pretty much just hung out in the whole weekend. So that was a lot of fun. Just a good environment. Weather was pretty good the whole time. That was the thing is I arrived at your house and it was like 75, and I'd
Yeah,
come
Friday
from
was awesome.
I think it was like 113 or it's something ridiculous like 103 here where I live. So getting there, I was just like I want to lay on your couch and just sleep for the weekend. Um, but yeah, and then so yeah, everyone kind of landed on Friday. We went to that brewery, which is right next to the distillery. That place is huge. It was perfect for just having everyone kind of congregate and hang out. That was that was a great location. That night, and then that distillery next door was kind of a nice place to hop over to as well. Until except we had to be outside. That was a
Yeah,
rule for
like
some
walked
reason.
in. The guy was just like, "No, you out. Like go
Yeah,
outside."
yeah, he said, "No, I'm sorry, you guys. We don't want your kind in here.
Hmm.
You got to go out to the trailer." So that was a lot of fun. And then yeah, like the actual draft day it was a little warm, but we all went over to the Brits pub, and we had the lawn bowling thing going on. that was I thought I didn't actually get to play, but it seemed like it looked fun.
I didn't even go outside. It was so fucking
Yeah,
hot, but I hope everybody had fun out there.
Yeah, I was on inside trying to make sure that everything was going to be ready to go. So that was pretty good. It was a little warm in there, but it was a good like place to have us all congregating, which is great. And then was it is after that after the draft concluded that we went over to that dump bar,
Yeah, Stub and Herbs.
Phineas and Ferbs.
Yeah,
Yeah, which was
yeah,
that was I haven't been in a bar like that, which is just like a total college bar in quite a while.
yeah.
And when you went down to like their like murder basement, their bathroom is like just a terrible, scary pit. You're like, okay.
I texted my brother-in-law who went to the U. I was like, "We're at Stub and Herbs. What should I get?" And he's like, "Just don't go there."
Yeah.
And I was like, "What do you mean? I'm like, didn't you go here in college?" He's like, "No, we were in Dinkytown. Like, Stub and Herbs is too far on the outskirts of Dinkytown for them to really go." He said the only time they went there was for Finish the Keg nights. So if you went down to the basement, there was like a keg on the far corner, and they would just pack the basement, and like you'd pay like a couple bucks and finish as many kegs as possible, essentially.
Wow.
But I'd also gone there for lunch once. Merritt and I toured the alumni center for like a wedding venue, and we went there for lunch, and it was like delicious. It was the place I was thinking of, but that time I don't think they were expecting. I mean, the bartender was pissed off.
Yeah.
So they were not expecting 25 dudes to show up and all need food. So I have some sympathy for the cook back there.
It was a challenge for them. Yeah, and it looked like they had like kind of one server, one bartender, and probably one cook back there.
Yeah.
And yeah, when we kind of wander in, we were a little bit bigger group going over there than I think we've initially intended.
Yeah, I thought there was like 10 of us that were going to be there.
And then we go in and they're basically like, I mean, I don't know, within five words, she was like, next time you guys do like this, you need to call ahead.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, I always thought to myself, like, I need to call ahead when a group of us go to like Mickey's. please, stop.
We get a reservation for 30 at Mickey's.
Yeah.
Mickey's basement, preferably.
Right.
Yeah, that was a little bizarre. I like Sugar being like, "You want us to just fucking leave?" Like, this is super awkward already. Like, should we just get out of here?
It's fine. Like, we can take off if this is difficult. But I mean, that cook back there, he got us all food, and we weren't in a hurry, so it worked out.
Right.
And then, funny enough, so like after the actual draft at Brits, everyone was kind of heading out back to the hotel to kind of regroup. And so people were either at the hotel bar, and then some of us went to Phineas and Ferbs, and then there was some people that they're like shot a picture in the Discord, and they were just at the Vikings game.
Yeah.
So I guess that was a thing, is that there was really cheap tickets, and so they just hopped onto the train, which was right in front of the hotel, took like 2 stops or something, just really short, to get over to the stadium. And then they just watched the like 2 quarters, like until half, and drank some beers at the Vikings game, and then came back, and then everyone was just at the hotel bar hanging out all night. So
yeah, I tried to get us to suite at the Vikings game, but they're were either super expensive or already booked for preseason stuff. Otherwise, we would have done that.
I've looked at stuff like that before, but a lot of the times, like the Chiefs one, it's like, well, you and 11 of your friends, and it's like, well, actually, we have it's different. Like, we're not just the normal amount of people that you might expect for this kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it'd be good. Like, Friday was really good because we went to a couple of spots that could fit this, like, that many people.
Yeah.
I think, like, after the draft, we need to find maybe we should have just gone back to Surly. Maybe we should have just gone to another big brewery that I could find.
Yeah,
that could fit us all. But yeah, it's always hard. I don't know how like drunk everyone's gonna get, or like corralling everyone.
It was pretty tame. This whole.
Yep.
I don't know if it's a function of age or the function of certain people not being there, but overall, it was pretty low key the whole time, which was nice. But yeah, I think that you're right. If we have a potential 40 people in general, we're probably going to have to look at, kind of planning stuff out. But I think there's opportunity there. Like hey, if we start saying with these weekends, like I said last time, like if we start kind of assuming instead of Friday night, like Thursday night is the thing, then we could have stuff to do specifically on Friday, like how everyone went golfing that was in town. Like that's a great idea, or just stuff like that, like activities that might like explore more than just a bar.
Yeah.
So
I'll have it
that's
all planned out next year. Everyone vote for Minneapolis because if we don't, then I can't go to the 10th anniversary of the
the
draft.
10th
And that'd be very,
anniversary.
very sad. I already have a fucking wedding that weekend.
You don't have to, but you've decided to make this is a decision you've made. You accept an
I
invitation
gotta
to the
go. I
wedding.
gotta go. I can't.
They're
Yeah,
your
I can't
pickleball
skip it.
friends. I understand.
They're great friends of ours.
Great pickleball friends.
Hmm.
And they won't be your pairing anymore if you don't go, which will ruin your standing in the local park leagues.
I don't even play pickleball. I just like them as people.
Well, that's nice. But yeah, next year's
I only
the 10th.
played pickleball a couple of times, and then very quickly, because Mayor's very good at it, they identified me as the weak link, and then they just slam balls at my face over and over. Because this casual pickleball league is not so casual. These fucking losers, it's like their life mission to win a pickleball game, so they have to make it miserable for me. A fucking fill-in.
You got to practice more.
Anyway, pickleball people
Yeah.
are... It's like
the whole
50-50 on if you're a huge fucking loser or not.
Well, yeah, all right. I guess to sum up the draft, I thought it was a big success. It was a lot of fun. It'd be awesome if we can even get other people that haven't been to a lot of these to show up next time. I do think it was one of the better ones that we've had. So
I would agree.
we seem to be getting better. Like
Thanks, me. Wow, you really knocked
Thanks
it out of
you.
the park, me.
I really like last year's. I thought that one was awesome, even though there wasn't that many people there. But like attendance, the last one was like 16. This one's 40. Both of them were awesome. So I think we're heading in the right direction. So if you've been on the fence or you're kind of just try to make it a priority next year, I think that for the 10th anniversary, wherever it is, like it's going to be worth going to. So that's my last statement about that. But now we can kind of go into the actual drafts that we did. I don't have as in-depth notes as you might have on these, so I think you went through pretty much everybody's. But do you want to go ahead and talk about your draft specifically? Any like high points that you had?
I kind of just glanced at like the overall boards and I didn't dig into much. Mine was okay, I think. I had kind of an issue of like Postler and I, we talked to each other a lot, and then we also listened to the same podcast and read the same shit. And Postler was right behind me, so every even round, right, second, fourth, sixth, whatever, he basically took the guy I wanted, and so the vast majority of my draft was just like completely and totally fucked over because Will was just sniping me over and over again. And it kind of came to fruition where a lot of people went like Derrick Henry if you had a late pick, or Chubb, and then got Henry on the same team on the way back. That was like a big, if you have a huge dick, you're going to just go Chubb Henry, like lay it on out there, enough with this wide receiver bullshit. Let's get some muscle on the team. And because I didn't want Chubb on Will's team, because I knew he liked him, that allowed him to snipe Amon-Ra St. Brown from me on the back end. So he went Barkley St. Brown. I went Chubb Henry. And then I was actually pretty surprised. So Mahomes and Allen went right after I took Henry in the second round. And then it wasn't until I got my next pick at 3-9 that Hurts went. So I got Hurts.
That's great.
And like, yeah, I almost this draft was pretty bizarre. I almost never do any of the shit that I did this. It's probably been a decade since I went running back.
Yeah.
But it's been over a decade since I won a title, so maybe that's something. It's been since 2012 that I took a quarterback in the first 3 rounds. So, yeah, that was just kind of weird to look at. And then Will, because he's an evil piece of shit, he took Calvin Ridley right ahead of me. And then without thinking, I just took Amari Cooper as my wide receiver 1, forgetting that I already had Chubb. So now I have Chubb, Cooper, and if Deshaun Watson is as bad as I think he is, the Browns offense could just be a fucking disaster, and I'm just wasting 2 top 50 picks or whatever they are.
Well, at least somebody would hope that one of those two outlets is at least decent.
I would hope so, but
Yeah.
both Cooper and Chubb were terrible once Watson took over last year, so I think I might have fucked myself. Outside of that, in my league, I guess that's my team. I think for the most part, other than the Cooper pick, I was very, very happy with what I grabbed. Like getting Kamara in the 6 as my RB3 was pretty nice.
And yeah, I feel like that's going to be, we're going to have some league winners with that.
With Kamara, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sky
If
Moore,
you could-
especially. I grabbed Moore, and now, Kelsey might be out, whatever that is. It could
Yeah.
be pretty good.
I had,
But-
Go
How'd
ahead.
yours go?
Well, I noticed that we did kind of the same thing. Is that we both felt real uncomfortable with our drafts. We both went running back, and we both took Hurts in the third round. I had him at 3-4, and then what really was like, I don't know about this, was Hawkinson in the 4th. So yeah, like my first 3 rounds are Eckler, Tony Pollard, Hurts, and then Hawkinson, and I felt really good about all those picks because I was, I don't necessarily go in saying I have to pick one thing. So I felt good about where I got all those players. But then when I was sitting there, like, I don't have any wide receivers. We're going to see how that goes, especially because we have.
Well,
to
who was your
start
first? Who was your first wide receiver?
Deontay Johnson. Do you want to hear a little bit
In the
about
5th?
Deontay Johnson?
Yeah. Why? I mean, why? Does that?
Yeah,
that
Deontay
high?
Johnson was 5-4 for me, 5th round, 4th pick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why? Yeah. Why?
Well, did you know, like, Deontay Johnson is one of the best route runners in the league. His success
What?
rate versus man coverage was top 7 in each of the last 3 years. His open score was the best in the league in 2022, and
His
top
what
4,
score?
His open score, his ability to be open, and the top 4 in every season since 2019. In other words, he's really, really good at getting open. His disappointing
point.
2022 season was driven solely by the fact that he caught a mind-boggling 0 touchdowns on 147 targets, but that had a lot more to do with Kenny Pickett's play than anything else.
Jameson, that does blow my mind.
It does, doesn't it? If we're betting that Pickett's going to improve his terrible touchdown total, which was only 7, or his yards per attempt 6.2, then Johnson should be the primary beneficiary. And after all, since the 2010 season, the 50 other receivers who have seen about that many targets in a single year have averaged 7.26 touchdowns per season.
He normally would have caught 7 to 8 touchdowns, but instead he caught 0?
Exactly. And had he maintained his career 4.9 touchdown to target rate, he would have caught 7.26 touchdowns and finished last year as fantasy's wide receiver 19. He's the wide receiver 30 off the board, and he's being drafted near his floor. So that's why he was one of my primary middle round targets.
Wow, that's really good, Jameson. I can't believe you know all that.
Yeah, I do. I've been doing
this. Is why I come to you for all my advice, because you know pretty much everything. What do you think about my Brandon Cooks pick in the 6th round?
Brandon Cooks? I got some opinions about Brandon Cooks. I mean,
wait, he was in the 7th round actually, so I thought it was a bit of a steal, but yeah, I don't really know. I guess I'm a bit of a noob when it comes to fantasy football knowledge or watching the game like you do.
Oh yeah, like it's a lot of game tape that's coming to me.
I know you're grinding tape whenever Aurora and the baby and Bean are asleep.
Yeah, basically that's how my nights go at this point. Is I just like cram a couple games in. But if we're talking about Brandon Cooks, like 2022 is a seriously down year for Mr. Cooks. He finished his time and he's finishing his time with the Texans. He caught 57 balls, the 3rd lowest tally of his career, for just 699 yards, scoring 3 touchdowns on the way. He averaged a mere 9 half PPR points per game, which was good enough to be the wide receiver 49. 22 was just the 2nd season in which Cooks has not finished inside the top 36 at his position.
I thought he was pretty good for a long time, and maybe last year was an outlier. It sounds like maybe I was right. What do you think?
Yeah, it sounds. I think you're right on the right track there.
Huh.
He made the move across Texas to Dallas this offseason, and while he's undoubtedly on a better team, he's firmly the secondary option in the wide receiver room besides CeeDee Lamb. He doesn't have a terrible matchup this week, as the Giants were 16th in AFPA to wide receivers a year ago, but it's hard to project him as anything more than a wide receiver 3, given the weapons the Cowboys have around him.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. I feel pretty good about that now. Thanks, Jameson.
I don't know what about that made you feel better.
He's the second option in the Cowboys offense.
Yeah, I
He
guess
doesn't
you're
have
right.
here's a tip. He doesn't have Davis Mills throwing him the ball. He has Dak Prescott.
That's true.
Dak
Or
is
Trevor
as good as
Lawrence.
Kirk Cousins, and I think that can sustain 2 wide receivers since he did it with Jefferson and Thielen for a couple of years. So,
Yeah,
I mean, Dak is
probably
worse
true.
than Kirk Cousins, but he can at least make Brandon Cooks something usable.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, if we're just wrapping up, yeah, my draft, I think that everything was pretty much, I did those first rounds were the one I said. Then I just like crammed a bunch of middling wide receivers. The only thing I did that was a little weird was I took like a defense in the third to last round, which I usually am less excited about,
Mhm.
but are like, okay, fine. But
What
everything
defense did you
else,
pick?
the Patriots,
Nice.
yeah, but we'll see. And then I got my best friend Tyler Bass.
He would have won you a title if the game had finished.
If Tyler Bass had had equaled his highest score,
Yeah.
I would have won.
Yep.
I would have won it all. but
James Von
he did
Gillern,
not.
your title's Mickey Mouse title, buddy.
It's an
Tyler
asterisk.
Bass is about to slam 21 points down your fucking throat.
Asterisk, but he does have a great jersey. He got a new. James got a new franchise. It's kind
That
of
was nice.
Masters themed. It looks great. So that was cool.
The green
But-
jackets was pretty good.
That's pretty clever. All right. What else do we want to talk about? Some funny things that happened, some random stuff. You've got a whole bunch of notes on
yeah,
here.
The top one is Mitch Peters came in as a replacement for one of the fucking old guys that abandoned, who dropped their corner,
Mhm.
and apparently set a cue and then went to Canada and dropped signal and he drafted 9 running backs in a row.
Yeah.
And
This
then
is something.
his first non-running back is the Titans tight end.
Yeah, this is something that started to sort of unfold, like just kind of murmuring around.
Yeah.
And then when we kind of caught on, yeah, his entire draft board is just running back
Yeah.
every single time. And yeah, what had happened was he put in his running back queue into the system and nothing else. It wasn't an overall ratings. It was just the running backs. So it just started drafting them all.
Yeah, he got Chigo Conquo as his first anything else but running back. In best ball drafts, so I started doing a couple best balls because I'm a degenerate.
Mhm.
Chigo Conquo either goes undrafted in 18 rounds or is like the 18th round guy you pick, but he got him in the 10th round, which is just
What
so
a steal.
funny. Welcome to the league, buddy. I'm really glad you're here and you stepped in.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it. Here's your 9 running backs. Here's a dusty draft right out of the gate.
Right. Yeah. Like just, I mean, that's exactly what it was. The dusty draft.
Yeah. Oh, we're also like, I know it's been like 3 weeks basically since we draft, but Kelsey owners in shambles.
Man.
Cup owners in shambles. The Jonathan Taylor news is atrocious. This is the second year in a row Cup and Taylor are going to royally fuck over the people that drafted them.
What's really crazy here is that, like, you noted that it was picks 4 or 5. I was 4th pick. And so both of these guys were very much like what I was considering.
Yeah.
And instead I was like, I'm going to go with the running back. And at this point, I'm glad I did because, man, yeah, that's rough to deal with.
I'm in I like restarted my Kansas City boys league and I was the 5th pick and I was like, you know what, I'm going to be wild with him. I take Kelsey. First time ever taking Kelsey, and then immediately that happens.
Yeah. Rough.
Actually, you know how last year I was talking about I'm not going to like worry about the scores. I'm not going to sweat the small stuff anymore. I'm just going to set my lineup and call it good.
Yeah.
I think this year more than ever it's going to be easier for me to do that because I'm in 4 leagues.
Right.
And at this point, I either own the players that I'm against, in like no matter what combo you come up with. So there's no point now in me checking the scores.
Yeah.
Now I'm just going to set my lineup.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to forget about it Monday. Let's see what the damage is. Like it should be beautiful.
If it wasn't, yeah, I did the opposite and got down to one league, and then got kind of strong armed into a neighborhood league, which actually is super flex and no kicker. So you'd appreciate it.
I would really
Um,
appreciate that. Yeah.
but yeah, so maybe I'll have a little bit more of that because last year it was definitely not that. But
Mhm.
I was doing a pretty good job of just like following my process and then trying not to look at stuff during the week or weekend.
It's hard.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, Kelsey Cup, JT, just that's really rough. Week 1 is going to be tough for all you guys. So Podwards, everyone loves him. Paul
Mhm.
Edwards. He took the first kicker at 9-1. Paul had obviously the very first pick in the draft. His first 8 picks were a masterpiece. Having the first pick is generally very, very good. And then he kind of tanked it with a kicker pick in the 9th for some reason.
Yeah, still crazy to me that we've got people reaching for Justin Tucker and he's been in the league like 15 years.
Yeah, it's pretty shocking. Yeah, Chubb and Henry is pretty common. A lot of people with like the 1-9, 110 ended up with Chubb and Henry. I thought the 49ers defense in the 8th was the highest it could go in Peters Cuervo. Peters Cuervo is kind of the wild, wild west. You never know what's going to happen. But
Mhm.
Vange, with his 3 titles to his name, decided that the 49ers defense was worth a 7th round pick. He got him at 7-12 because it doesn't matter if it's 7-12 or 8-1. But I guess when you have 3 titles, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, this is James. Yeah,
doesn't
James
matter.
did this. Yep.
Yep. James Von Gillern, first defense in the 7th round. That's probably the earliest I've ever seen it, I think.
Josh had one really early one sometime as well, but I don't know.
Oh,
I mean, it
17
might
is
be
really
the
high.
earliest that we've seen it in presidents for a
Tom
while.
McHale, another title winner, takes Josh Allen at 1-5. So people are debating between Cooper Kupp, Austin Eckler, Travis Kelce. Tom says, fuck that. I'm going to take probably the second best QB in the league at 1-5. When you're a champ, you can do that.
I mean, at this point, like he's on top. Like that's it, those 2 of the 3 people you just mentioned are not playing football,
Right.
so the safe
Yep.
choice.
Wait, what do you mean? Eckler's playing football?
I mean, 2 of the you mentioned 3 people. Kupp and
Oh, yeah.
Kelce,
Kelsey
yeah,
and Kupp, yeah. So he
yeah.
chose correctly. And then Spencer Griffith, this is the move that Christian, we made fun of him last year for doing, but he takes Mahomes in the 2nd round and then handcuffs him with another quarterback. I got the 101 QB in the entire league. Better have a backup plan just in case. I don't know. The matchup isn't great. Like, what the fuck are you doing? It doesn't matter, though, because Christian did the same thing last year and then won our fucking league. So it's all good, baby.
It's all gravy.
Yeah, it's just this is the mantra. Nothing matters. Do whatever you want.
Right. It is
Eventually,
just chaos league. It doesn't
you'll
matter.
you'll win enough to get in the playoffs, and then anything can happen.
Yep.
But yeah, good
Yeah.
good shit out of the draft.
Yeah,
It was fun.
it was a good time. Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of yeah. It was a good time. Physical draft was fun. The stuff we didn't see. I think we saw like a fair amount of goofy stuff, but like per capita, it's less goofy than it used to be.
The fantasy community as a whole, and it's leaking into our group, are getting like smarter about shit. There's
Yeah.
still a couple people like, unfortunately Mitch, Dusty, whatever. But yeah, for the most part, people don't do weird shit anymore.
Well, and like there's a qualitative
Defenses are good.
difference between Mitch not using the interface correctly and
Mhm.
Dusty deciding more if one quarterback is good, 6 is better.
Right.
Yeah, that's a
Numbers game
little
at that
different.
point.
Yeah. All right. So that was a draft. Draft's awesome. Anyway, we'll move on to waivers of the week. There wasn't a whole lot going on. People just kind of doing, dropping some like last round people off to pick up defenses and kickers, that kind of thing. But you did note the funny ones that I saw, which was just the one basically. Zhao learning to use the waiver interface by instead of, you can just pick up a player and drop it as one transaction, he'll drop a player, then independently pick up another player. But yeah, like he drops Jonathan Taylor for Kareem Hunt and then drops Kareem Hunt. So I don't know what the thought was there. So
You know what, man? Maybe he's right, and we're gonna be looking at a Lev Bell situation where the guy just doesn't fucking play the entire
I
year.
mean, it's
But it's really funny to drop
first I've
your
heard that.
second round pick for
preseason.
absolutely nothing.
Yeah, just to get rid of him, just to like get his like bad energy off your team.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
maybe that's why he doesn't want him to sandbag the rest of his team just with his bad energy. But yeah, and then I was curious to see how Peter Squirvo would react to dropping Jonathan Taylor, and it was not what I was expecting. I was kind of expecting we might get somebody who drops like all their fab money on it, something like that, or just complete silence. And they went mostly with complete silence because he then goes for about $23, and then, like you said, the next bid was $8. So I guess a lot of people really valuing their 13th round pick, not even bothering to like give him a shot.
Yeah, that was amazing to me. Just like, holy shit, this RB1 hit the market. What are we gonna do? It's like, I don't know.
Nothing.
Not even a fucking fourth of my budget.
Right. Like I'm not gonna do anything is what
Yeah.
I would bet. I would be curious to know how many people in that league actually knew that happened at all. Like, do they even have the app on their phone? Is a good question.
I think the 4 people you saw bet were kind of aware. Mm-hmm. Bradley was the only one who understood the significance of what had happened.
Yeah. The other ones were not like, and people, fab is a tricky thing, trying to understand how people bid. But man, like there are days where you're just like, what would it be like to be in Peter Squirvo? Like, you can basically get whatever players you want. You can spend completely reasonable, like small amounts of fab money and just cruise into the cash. So, like, it is one. There was who is.
Well, you would think so, but Bradley has been there. This is his second year now.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Is
come on, man.
Skill gets you to the playoffs, but just pure random luck gets you the win.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I looked across all the other waivers, and there's like nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing to report. No. We did have trades though. You did you got the trades down on the note sheet. Which
just one guy, Mitch, who has 9 running backs. He's been trading away some of his 9 running backs to get an actual roster together.
Yeah.
The funny thing about this is after these trades, he is now like the 4th or 5th highest projected team in his league.
I mean,
so he got rid of Cam Akers. He got Mike Evans. Mike Evans is probably going to be a baller. He'll be boom and bust, but he can. I mean, last year, if you made it to the playoffs, he would have won your title game. Then he traded away Derrick Henry and Rashad White for Mark Andrews and Jahan Dotson. I'm big on Dotson this year.
Yeah, I've got him.
Yeah, which probably is not good, but
he'll
player. So now he's got 2 wide receivers and a top 1 tight end now. Kelsey's out. He did James Cook for Judy, which was atrocious. I don't mean to bag on the guy. He filled in and had a rough go, but Jerry Judy doesn't have a hamstring. So you traded for a guy who's not going to play for the first couple weeks for a starting running back. I mean, you got to go better than that. I mean, the other 2, that was his first trade. The other 2 trades he did were really good, but James Cook for Judy is just a fleecing. It's somebody taking advantage of somebody else. It's pathetic. It's below us. It's sad. Whoever did that trade, you should feel ashamed.
That trade and Jonathan Taylor's drop was me initially being like, this is going to be one of the seasons where I have to like intervene to like save the integrity of the league, but I just decided to not. So
whatever.
If you're down there, like it's part of the environment is just complete freak stuff.
Get down the swamp, get down and dirty.
People just don't have any idea what's going on. So it's just part of being there. But yeah, I mean, but I do have to say, like, if this happens to you and if you were drafting and you get back and you lose connection, you get back and you have 9 running backs and then the Titans tight end, like there's a lot of people that would just never log in again until the season
Right.
was over.
Right.
So to be actually making moves and trying to make your team, like at this point, like there's worse teams, I bet. Like he's probably he's got a fighting shot. So,
Absolutely.
that's the right attitude. That's what I like to see.
Yeah, I'm gonna look right now. Mitch Peters. He doesn't have a kicker defense right now, and he's at 96 points. So you can add another, I don't know, 16 points to 96. That's 108. No,
Yeah.
114. Okay, 114. That puts him above the person he's playing. That puts him above Mallet, above Mason Renner, above Woody Fresh, above Mark Vormazeel, above Goose. Nice one, Goose. Tied with Freeze, and above Tom Cavanda. So yeah, he's in the top like 4 of his league.
I think at this point, this is our new like Rod watch. Like this is like
I want to see what
last
Peters.
year. I want to see
here.
how he climbs out of this hole. This is going to be our miracle moment.
Here's his team right now: Daniel Jones, Nick Chubb, Jahmyr Gibbs, Mike Evans, Jahan Dotson, Van Jefferson. Good pickup. Cups out. Mark Andrews, James Conner. He doesn't have a kicker or defense yet.
This is good. That's a good team.
On his bench, he has Brian Robinson,
Love
Samaje Perine, great. Geno Smith, great. Zay Jones, good pickup. Jerry Jeudy, the guy he traded for, is on his bench, so not great, but
not good pick.
Maybe when he gets healthy, he'll replace Van Jefferson or something. But he made some good moves other than the junior pick, I think.
I gotta. Yeah, this is an exciting. This is a storyline to watch.
Yeah,
so that's quite exciting.
Yeah. The only person I saw that spent any free agent money, I think, was TJ Schmidt. So props to you. You're the new Goose. $7 for Sam Laporta.
All right.
So we have our new agent of measurement here. We got one Laporta is $7.
One Laporta is $7. Yeah. One preseason Laporta.
Right. All my fish and shrimp are dead, so I don't have any picks. Everything in my tanks besides fucking Wedge is dead.
He did it. He did it all.
Yeah.
It was me, Austin.
It was me the whole time. So
it was me the whole time.
Call was coming inside the house.
Isn't that actually what that McMahon says in that clip?
It was me the whole time. Yeah.
No,
so like hospital thing.
Austin.
Oh yeah, because he's talking to Stone Cold.
He's told, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't have any kind of coin flip, anything like that. I'm trying to clean out my office and make it neater, so I don't have any kind of dead animals to, to decide games. I did have a fun fact though, is that I played Magic the Gathering with my daughter today. For the first time, she wanted to play, and so we got these rookie decks. This is actually one of them. That they're these they're these real low power learning decks, and she had a lot of fun and smoking me in it. So that was a
awesome.
heartwarming.
Introduce her to being a big nerd.
Yep.
Well, the closest game I see is Teeds and Carvanass. 113.76 versus 113.89. That's pretty close.
That's pretty close. We'll see.
I can look at Wedge right now, actually.
Yeah, just tell me what
he's at. He is on the right, so it'll be Carvanass.
All right, there you go.
Yep.
That was a fun franchise to get.
Murdered 2 fish and 55 shrimp.
He's
yeah, I don't have anything else. Let's keep it
short.
45
sharp minutes. A sharp 45. All right, everybody. Well, good luck to you in your games and matchup this weekend, and we congratulations to the season starting. And I guess we will see you next week.
That's right. Oh, also Ben is going to shit himself if I don't shout him out. So here you go.
Right under the wire.
Fuck you, buddy.
All right. Bye. See you
Bye.
later.